Rover Range Rover Velar. Hello everyone! In any version, the body of a used Range Rover Velar will be in perfect condition, however only on condition that the car has not been in a serious accident with subsequent poor quality restoration. After all, the SUV has an 81% aluminum body, which does not give a damn about corrosion, and the paintwork is highly resistant. Even on the very first copies, only ray chips can be seen on the front of the car. And the body itself, despite the external lightness and airiness, is distinguished by outstanding strength and rigidity. Our winters are not so easily tolerated only by the chrome coating of external decorative elements. It can become cloudy even on relatively fresh pavements. It's a shame that the main charm of the body, impeccable from a design point of view, is that the door handles immersed in it turned out to be problematic. On the first machines, they were changed under warranty several times. Here is a separate respect for Land Rover, which always meet customers by updating defective components for free and issuing a replacement car for the duration of the repair. It happens that some of the handles opened and after that it does not call back. And then after starting the engine as if nothing had happened, it continues to work properly. Moreover, this has nothing to do with humidity, temperature or season. You have to be careful though in the winter. If after washing the crossover is left in the cold with the handles retracted, they will freeze and the door of course will not open. Therefore you must either leave it in a warm box until dry or in a cold garage with open handles until weathering. The British know about this problem and solve it as far as possible. On machines after the last modernization in 2020, the drive mechanism of retractable handles has become more reliable, and multimedia, which also presented unpleasant surprises, now works fast and more efficiently. The electrics can sometimes be dull and buggy, although the software has been officially updated several times. With unavailable regularity, various sensors fail, mainly parking sensors and opening the tailgate with your foot. True, mostly minor problems are solved by rebooting and restarting the engine. By the way, about engines. 2-liter 4 of the Ingenium series with active hydraulic bearings, bouncer shafts and an electronically controlled water pump. Gasoline engines with a capacity of 249, 250 and 300 horses, more hour, more powerful, with 2 turbochargers, more capricious and more expensive to maintain. Engines managed to prove themselves quite reliable. At least there were no mass complaints to them yet. True, on the first copies it is already possible to detect a turbine sweating with oil, although in this stage the turbocharger can last for several more years. The main thing is to change the engine oil every 10 to 15,000 kilometers and monitor its level. By the way, the oil consumption of some cars can exceed 100 to 200 grams per 1000 kilometers. The manufacturer considers such consumption to be quite normal. In general, this problem is relevant for any car with turbocharged power units. Therefore, the owners can only constantly monitor the amount of liquid lubricant. We also note that the turbine pump and injection nozzle are at risk for all engines. The 6-cylinder engine with 380 horsepower with a Roots-type supercharger instead of a turbocharger is endowed with a high power density, although it is quite voracious. The engine is known from its predecessor, and over the long years of production, most of the children's souls in compressor V6s have already been almost completely cured. Although minor breakdowns such as perimeter failure of the generator, coils and spark plugs, engine cooling radiators and air conditioning, drive belt and the timing chain still occur. Recall that on a car of the previous generation there were cases of stretching the timing chain on these engines already by 15 to 18,000 kilometers. But the measures taken to increase the resource of the Note made it possible to forget about the chain up to 200,000 kilometers. The diesel force with a return of 180 and 250 horses have the same sources as the gasoline R4, a turbocharger, a Boston pump and a high-pressure fuel pump with nozzles. But at the same time they are more durable and economical, but they are also demanding on the quality of fuel and oil, timely maintenance and repair. If the engine lost power and the car went into emergency mode, then most likely this is a consequence of the failure of the mechanism for changing the geometry of the turbine. Replacement is costly. The same symptoms can be caused by a glucodiesel particulate filter or AGR valve. However, if you use high-quality fuel and recommended engine oil, do maintain on time using high-quality consumables, and follow the recommendation of dealers, then a diesel engine can last a very long time. A 3-liter diesel engine 300 horses is reputed to be reliable and has a decent economy, and today it is particularly problem-free. Over the years of production since 2012, the main sources that boosted him earlier, the crankshaft liners installed without lock stand, are now completely cured. To do this, they even significantly changed the design of the motor. Although injection nozzles, a turbine and high-pressure fuel pump are still at risk. Therefore, the issue of the quality of diesel fuel is acute. Nevertheless, with proper maintenance and the use of high-quality diesel fuel and oil, these nodes are used up to 250 to 300,000 kilometers. Quality service will not interfere with their automatic transmission. Let it be considered very reliable. However, one-time breakdowns also happen from time to time. The whole body may fail, the toggle converter or gearbox control unit may need to be replaced. Although, in general, we repeat, the box is considered quite reliable. However, some sources come out on relatively fresh specimens. Sometimes, even on modest runs, it can suddenly go into emergency mode. As a rule, this is due to a glow filter which changes along with the pan. If the automatic transmission is depressed at the moment of driving at speeds over 130 km per hour, the rear gearbox and axle shaft fail along the way. Well, if this happened during the warranty period, reliable and all-wheel drive transmission, intelligent driving dynamics with a clutch that connects the front wheels when the rear wheels slip. Moreover, in Europe there are rear-wheel drive versions, but they were not officially delivered to us. The multi-plate clutch is generally reliable. Longevity is guaranteed by changing the oil in both gearboxes and the clutch. It is desirable to renew the lubricant in these units according to the regulation or even earlier. Regardless of the type of drive, the air press is equipped with an independent suspension. The front suspension is on wishbones and the rear one is a multi-link of Integral Link's own design. Only wheel bearings can be considered weak in the charge which some owners change twice under warranty. Not so durable and levers made of aluminum alloy. In addition, they come complete with ball bearings and cylinder blocks, and they usually take care of 60,000 to 100,000 kilometers. Shock absorbers are about the same, but in the adaptive suspension, replacing the front struts will cost 3 times more. True, they have a pretty decent reserves, about 100,000 kilometers or more. During operation, special attention should be paid to the pneumatic elements, more precisely to their rubber seals, which are recommended to be cleaned of dirt at each maintenance. After all, the resource of the element itself depends on the condition of the answers. If the cylinder begins to poison the air, the compressor will soon fail, having restrained itself from constant work. By the way, to prolong the life of the compressor, make it a rule to clean it from dirt at every MOT. After 5 years of service, the pump walls can simply rot from corrosion. Summing up, we can say that in general the Range Rover Velar is quite reliable, although not all of his sources had time to get out due to the relative years of the car. After all its power units proved to be the best on other Range Rover models. That suggests electronics is still the Hill's heel of the crossover, although she has recently annoyed the owners of Velars less and less. If you have or had such a model, share information about what and how it breaks in the comments.